Measuring progress, how to assess whether a curse is truly broken or simply dormant. One of the most dangerous stages in curse breaking is the false finish line. You feel lighter, patterns seem disrupted, and life begins to move in a new direction. It's tempting to assume the curse is gone forever, but in many cases, what you're experiencing is not full liberation, it's a dormant state. A dormant curse is like an unwatered seed. It may appear dead, but the conditions for regrowth still exist. If certain triggers reappear, the pattern can reawaken, sometimes with more force than before. This is why the post-breaking phase is as important as the breaking itself. You must test and verify that the curse's infrastructure has been dismantled, not just silenced. The difference between broken and dormant. A broken curse has no legal or spiritual authority to re-enter your bloodline. Its agreements have been nullified, its access points closed, and its energetic pathways dismantled. A dormant curse has been interrupted, but not destroyed. It can reattach through unresolved spiritual agreements, unexamined traditions that still echo its original terms, new contracts or behaviors that mimic the original entry point. The distinction is subtle, which is why consistent assessment is critical. Markers that a curse is truly broken. 1. Pattern disappearance across generations. Look not only at your own life, but at your children, siblings, cousins, and nieces, nephews. A curse is broken when the destructive pattern no longer appears anywhere in the living bloodline. 2. Inability to trigger the old cycle situations that once reliably set the curse in motion now pass without collapse. For example, a family who lost money every time they inherited property can now receive and manage assets without sabotage or loss. 3. Shift in family identity. The family no longer defines itself by the pattern. The "we're just unlucky with love" or "money always slips away from us" narratives disappear from conversations and self-concept. 4. Absence of gatekeeper. Resistance. Living or deceased gatekeepers lose influence. Attempts to shame, intimidate, or block you have no spiritual impact and often no practical effect. 5. Replacement with life-giving structures. The void left by the curse has been filled with new traditions, agreements, and systems that reinforce freedom rather than bondage. Signs the curse may be dormant. 1. The pattern still exists somewhere in the bloodline. If you see the old cycle alive in even one branch of the family, it's possible the curse still has partial access, especially if their downfall impacts you indirectly. 2. Recurring tests that you keep failing. You face situations similar to the original curse conditions, and though you thought you were free, you keep responding in the old way or experiencing the same outcome. 3. Persistent emotional charge. Around the old pattern. Even without visible events, talking or thinking about the curse's history still provokes fear, shame, or anger. This emotional tether can be an unclosed spiritual door. 4. Reappearance. During stress or transition, dormant curses often reawaken during major life shifts: marriage, childbirth, death of an elder, relocation, because these moments create spiritual and emotional vulnerability. Tools for ongoing assessment: generational mapping. Updates: revisit your family mapping chart annually. Look for signs of old patterns reemerging in subtle ways: financial dips, recurring illnesses, relationship breakdowns, or unexplained conflicts. Trigger testing. Safely and intentionally observe how you or your family respond to situations that once activated the curse. This is not to invite harm, but to verify stability under pressure. Tradition audits review annual holidays, celebrations, and family rituals. Have any old elements crept back in? Are there jokes, phrases, or rules that echo the original curse terms? External feedback. Sometimes those closest to the situation can't see subtle shifts. Trusted outsiders, mentors, spiritual leaders, or friends who know your liberation process can help spot lingering patterns you may miss. The importance of generational perspective. Measuring progress is not a one-lifetime task. True reversal means observing the absence of the curse over multiple generations. That requires documenting your work. Write down the curse's known history and how it was broken. Pass on instructions for maintaining freedom. Equip heirs with the discernment to detect early signs of re-entry. Without this, future generations may unknowingly recreate the conditions that allowed the curse to form in the first place. Freedom that holds. Breaking a curse is the rescue. Sustaining freedom is the rebuild. The only way to ensure you're dealing with a truly broken curse, not one lying in wait, is to combine spiritual closure with structural reinforcement and vigilant tracking. The true sign of progress is not just that you're living differently, it's that your descendants can't even imagine the life you once lived under the curse. That's when you know the pattern isn't just sleeping. It's gone. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and what you just watched is part of my signature program, the Chosen One series inside School of Soul. This series is not just a course, it's a blueprint for those who know they were different from the start: the black sheep, the scapegoat, the truth teller, the cycle breaker. Inside, you'll discover the family roles playbook, the golden child, the scapegoat, the enabler, the lost child, and how to finally step out of the part you were cast in without consent. How the black sheep becomes the goat, turning rejection into radical transformation and leadership. How to break generational curses and rewrite ancestral contracts so the pain stops with you. And how to recognize and escape modern forms of spiritual and technological targeting, from gang stalking to synthetic synchronicity. This isn't just about survival. It's about awakening, about reclaiming your voice, your lineage, and your destiny as one of the chosen ones. Click the link below to access the full series now, because the role ends the moment you decide it does, and the real script begins with you.